Good morning. It's a pleasure to be speaking to the members not only of LA Third, but to whoever else is tuned in. I want to thank the pastoral care for sending my mother such a beautiful card. I want to announce that she's doing well. They've got her up and they've got her walking. So we know that God is truly doing the work. I also wanted to thank Reverend Lisa and the board for asking me to speak this morning. It's a privilege. Um, So I thought about the title, On Time Feminine Energy. And as I was thinking about it, so many things went through my mind. I heard Reverend Gerald's sermon being spoken again. I heard Reverend Lisa talking about soul and subjective mind. And I heard all of those things. And then I woke up this morning and I heard the voice of God say, I'm going to speak for you, Ruth, because I got some things I need to say. So I hope that everything that I say today will have meaning to you. And if it doesn't, just listen anyway. I woke up this morning and as I went into my living room, I turned on my television because I like to listen to soundscapes and they have affirmations on there. But when I turned it on, there was a mother talking about her little girl who had been an athlete and how she had committed suicide. And in that moment, I thought about the divine feminine energy, the divine feminine that the mothering has to become on the planet, the divine feminine that has to come out in our male images so that they could connect back into the love source of the world. It is important that we connect with young people and with each other on a daily basis. My hope is that in doing social spacing, we will begin to have classes out in the middle of the street so that the children can meet and see each other. My hope is that the church opens up so that people are there, safe distancing and being available so that if people need to come in to pray, to talk, we can do these things. We have to remember that we are the only hearts, we're the only tool that God has. We are that heart, we are that vibration. And we have the ability through connecting as people, using the feminine energy, the mothering energy. You know, Mother Earth is showing us how wonderful things are because she's still blooming. The flowers, everything, the butterflies. Right now, I'm sitting in my backyard and I'm overwhelmed by just the beauty of this earth. And I know that she's telling us we're okay. And what we've got to do, and what I think, I can't tell you what to do, but what I think about is letting go of fear, letting go and letting God and say, you know, I can sit 6 feet from someone and hold a conversation. I can smize them, as Tyra Banks used to say, with my eyes so that they see a smile. I can acknowledge them when we pass in the store and not turn my head in fear. We are metaphysicians. We are the only tool, the only instrument that God has to show us light. And yet sometimes we allow our light to dim. You know, when Jesus came to the planet, God gave him the womb of his mother, a person who truly was willing to open up and allow that divine male, female to come out, known as Jesus. And as his partner, God sent Mary Magdalene to remind him that not only was the male there, but the female, so that he spoke only out of love. He went into places and he laid hands and he healed and simply said, do you believe? And yet we won't look at each other and even give a smile. We're afraid to say hello. We're afraid to come out of our houses when the sun is shining and take a walk. Can we not trust God again enough just to take a walk and to acknowledge his planet and allow these trees and these flowers and all the beautiful things that God has created to feed and nurture our body? This is the thing that keeps the immune system alive. They can make chemicals in a lab, but they cannot replace the energy of the vibration of the plants, the flowers, the birds, everything that God has given us to show us, I am here. We can't do what the president or any of those people are in office doing. But what we have the right to do is to become that instrument that allows God to say, let me use you in this way. Every morning when we get up, our question should be, thank you, God. What will you have me do today? Can I say a word to my neighbor? Can I leave a bag of oranges sitting outside their gate? Can I pull lemons off the lemon tree and let them make lemonade? Because we have the power. It is not about the church and the preaching. I can't preach. I don't know how. All I know is that my heart opens up and I know that we are the tools, the instruments, the human beings that God has given to this planet to take care of it and to take care of ourselves. We have got to step beyond color because we're all human beings. If you have an idea of some sort and you want to create a business, talk to someone who may not even be of the same color that you are, but who can connect with you on the idea. What has happened all over the world. It's an awakening. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. It doesn't matter who you think you are. The designer shoes don't mean nothing to nobody. I don't care about a designer purse. You can't even walk out so somebody can see it. So what are you holding on to the material stuff for when you have this heart and this love and everything that God has given you to send out here? The healing power, the immunity that we're looking for our body to heal exists in us. And when we can step out of fear and step into faith and just allow God to use me, more of you, God, and less, so much less of me. Letting go of all this stuff that we think is so important. When you sit in your house, many of you are sitting alone. Many of you are sitting with partners that you haven't even communicated with in the last 60 days, being locked down. The fear of letting go and letting yourself be vulnerable to let somebody know that you have emotions, that you have feelings, that some days a tear wants to run out of your eye because you can't always be that strong one. I need you as a human being to tell me it's okay. And to get beyond whatever the news is saying, filling your heads with everything that you hear on the news. And let that feminine energy of divine love shine through you so that no matter what they're saying, we know that the God that we serve, love, and live in is doing the work. We have the opportunity to let God shine, to prove that it exists and that it is real. And yet we still are looking at the news and holding conversations that we shouldn't have. People are sending me texts and I'm like, don't send it. I don't care what the doctor said. I got a doctor greater than that. And if he knew the answer, it would be solved. But this solving has to come from our desire, from us sending out love all over the planet every day, blessing every human being on this earth. Every day acknowledging your neighbor just with a wave. Every day going out and take a walk so your lungs and your body stays healthy. This young girl this morning felt locked in. She felt lost. Why didn't they clear the block and let her run up and down the street? We got to wake up, people. You don't have a special neighborhood. I don't care if you live in Malibu. It's not your beach. It's God's beach. And yet we still walk in fear. See, that's why I can't be a minister. Because see, what I'm talking about, maybe a preacher won't say it like this. But I'm just going to talk from my heart because I ain't got nothing to lose. This morning, I want you to acknowledge and know who you are, how powerful you are, that every working part of your brain has an idea of something that can change the flow of the earth and heal. We are that immune system. We are the things that they're looking for. I remember when I was a little girl and there was no television in the house and we got creative and found things to do. I remember when we could go out in the backyard and we build a house out of some cardboard boxes and play. And we've got to teach our children that things still exist. Get them off of the instruments. Don't let them be stuck to the TV. Don't let them be stuck to the phone. Show them that we have to have things mixed up in our life, that we got to do something different. You have a voice. Use it. And don't be afraid to say, let's do something, because we are the healers of the planet. I don't know where the virus came from. Woke up one morning and somebody said, stay in the house and put a mask on. And I said, what? But in that moment, the Spirit of God said to me, well, put the mask on, Ruth. You can still walk down to the corner and get you some exercise in. You could still sit on the floor in your house and do some sit-ups or do something. If you can't do some sit-ups, put on your music and do a line dance. If you can't do a line dance and you're 70 years old, go back and cha-cha. But get your body moving. As you move your body, your brain moves. And as your brain moves, the idea, because somebody has the answer in them and it's waiting to burst forth. But we've got to be willing to step out in faith. Let go of everything you know or think you knew. There is no new normal. Every day we are creating whatever we want our normal to be. And what is normal? It's living free and allowing yourself to speak the word of God and know that it's the truth. Every morning when you wake up, look in the mirror and realize how wonderfully you are made. Check your body out. It might be old and saggy, it might be tight and cute, but it don't matter because we all human beings. The divine feminine is in every one of us. It don't care what you look like. God is waiting to use us, to anoint us, and to show man that there is no power in the universe greater than what I am. And I am each and every one of you in my image and likeness. Look at me, look in the mirror and look at me. And then speak your word and sit down and say, what can I do today? Can I fix a safe space where a child can come in and talk? Can we go out in front of the house and allow the children to come out and look at each other and run and play just a little bit? Can they see each other as we see each other? Fearless, willing to take a chance on God and let man have what he wants. Because the cars, the houses, the presidency, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what matters is what you send out in your love vibration, willing to let go and let God and let it be. Willing to say, here I am, God, use me. Every morning I get up and I do a little thing called lemonade. I don't even know how the idea came to me, but something said, Ruth, say something. And every day I hope that I'm encouraging at least one person, because everything I speak for them, I'm speaking for myself. Every day I have to pray and bless my grandchildren, my children, but they're not just my children. I'm blessing the children of the world. We have that power. Remember who you are. There is divine feminine love in each and every one of us, as well as there is the masculine energy of power. The two together are the baddest instruments in the world. Remember who you are. Begin to have conversations. Step out on faith and trust God. He will give you a creative idea that will shift and change the world. I know today you might say, what is she talking about? But I want to take you back and remind you, we have the tool of meditation. One of the things that I know is that every day, if you take time to sit with God, just sit. You don't have to have no special spot. You don't have to have no special music. You don't even have to close your eyes. Just sit down, shut up, and be still and allow. And I assure you that as you're doing this, new ideas will open up. The feminine energy will come forth and say, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's share. Let's send love notes. At some point, send a note out to someone that you've never sent a note to and just say, I'm checking on you. Because getting something in the mail is exciting. We don't do that anymore. It's personal. It shows that you thought about them. A text is okay, but a little bit impersonal. But when you write it and they can see your handwriting, they know that you thought of them. If you do art, paint some pictures and put them out on the curb and say they're free and let people know that you're an artist. If you dance, turn on music and stand in your yard and say, I'm dancing for the community, and begin to dance and ask your neighbors to join in. We have more power than we're giving ourselves credit for. We do not have to hide in our house and wait for someone to tell you when you can come out. You have the power of God within you that says, I am, you are, we are. All power, all love, everything that is necessary to heal this planet. And I pray today that you will join with me in knowing that you are all that is needed, that you are everything that God could have ever created in its image and likeness. See me. See the God in you. See the God in your neighbor. Don't see the color. See people. See love. Because without it, the planet can't heal. The planet doesn't know what the anger is, and it doesn't know how to deal with it, but it recognizes love. It knows when you walk out in your yard and you look at the flowers and you say, aren't you beautiful today? Thank you for showing up for me. When you hug a tree and get the energy, the masculine energy that fills you and gives you that strength to take that walk, to take that run, to stand up on your cane and walk, to call somebody and say, girl, I'm feeling good today and I'm seeing you feeling good with me. To get beyond everything that you've ever known. And as Superman and all those people, those superheroes say, go into a space you've never been before. Take off your Zorro mask and smile somebody. Take a walk in your neighborhood and bless every house on your street and bless every person in that house. As we send out that love, we are healing the immune systems. That virus doesn't know who it's dealing with because we about some bad mamma jammas, but we got to recognize and know that we have the power. Jesus did not say he could heal. He would ask you, do you want to be healed? And then he would say, it is done. Faith is the key. Love is the answer. I hope that you have a beautiful day. I'm smiling you. I'm sending you love. And I hope that something I said today will be life-changing for you because it has truly changed my life. I trust God, and I trust you to trust God. And think about what you're thinking about when you're thinking about what you're thinking about. And so it is.
Blessings and greetings and thank you to our Ron Bishop and our musicians. We have 2 more Sundays in this month that we're celebrating the on-time feminine energy, which I will present to us our last 2 Sundays, and then we will move into our men's month, which I know that we will enjoy. So let us prepare to go into this day, moving our bodies, allowing the wisdom of God to move our minds for the creative and divine ideas that are waiting our recognition. So just take a deep breath, feel the power, allow the words of today's message to move within you, to strike up something within you that is new, that is beautiful, that is magnificent. So we give thanks, Lord, for our opportunity to open our eyes, to receive a message that allows all the doubt, all the worry, all the fear, any anxiousness to fall away. And we allow that power, that presence, that divinity, that magnificence, that light, and that love to illuminate and radiate through each of us. I give thanks for all that God has done, all that God is doing, and all that God continues to do on our behalf. I allow the Spirit to work through me, as me, for the greater good of this world. Healing, God's presence is always going on. And so let us feel it. Let us hook our consciousness, the soul of our beingness, into the universal pool of good and pull out those blessings that are awaiting our recognition, our acceptance, and most of all, our expectancy. So I give thanks for this morning. I give thanks for the greater afternoon. I give thanks for a wonderful and peaceful evening. I let go and we allow God to flow. Amen. And so it is.